aki e tama. Nā te hia hia, nā te koroka e tama, ia tāne e tama. Tāne I ruka, tāne I raro ka rere, te mara mara kahu aki ki waho. Ka tipu mai uta, ka takoto mai waho e hura ki te ata. Ko te ata o tāne. My tīpuna, Pounamu, Ngai Tahu, were nomadic people. We had to be because the land made us. Certain areas were colder during the winter, hard land to break, hard land to live in during those cold times. So we were constantly moving around, you know, and we still carry a lot of those names that our tīpuna were moving up and down. So the idea of nomadic living now isn't new, but it's just about how do we take that knowledge that our tīpuna had and their nomadic lifestyle and bring it forward to the present. Ko kahu raki mahu I ka tōku I koa, ko aoraki ta mauka ariki. I'm a proud southern Māori boy through and through.
Kia ora anō.
My tīpuna traversed the mountains, rivers and lakes of Te Waipounamu for hundreds of years.
This bit's pretty cool.
Wait till we get in there.
Their footsteps are etched into this landscape, and I've made it my life's mission to follow them. With my whānau, we're travelling all over this whenua in search of the stories
This is our kaupapa. Welcome to Te Waka.
and people who make it special.
Eventually we want to be as self-sufficient as possible.
No, well, it's good to see more whānau out here driving for that. Come with us on our journey as we explore Te Waka o Aoraki. For me, this nomad mission needs to start in my home, Te Tauraka. This rugged coastline is one of Aotearoa's best kept secrets and probably our most unique landscape. This particular place is called Hunts Beach. You'd struggle to find it on the map, but it's in South Westland. It's wild, it's wet, and you couldn't really get any more isolated.
I guess like growing up here, you didn't realise how far away you were from everything. About 3 hours from any major city. There wasn't many people. I grew up here with two of my brothers, mum and dad, grandma, granddad. It was a pretty unique way of growing up. You know, we had a lot of freedom. As long as you didn't hurt yourself too bad, Mum was pretty happy. Wow.
Hunts Beach is a tiny community made up of mostly my whānau. So Maia is our pepe. So we share the same father, but different mums. But our mothers are first cousins. So our whakapapa is very interlinked.
Oh, where?
And like lots of us, from small communities, Maia grew up immersed in the mātauraka of her tīpuna. What are we looking for, sis?
We were looking for inaka whitebait. I can't remember a time where we didn't whitebait. I used to fish that side of the river, and then Granddad would fish this side. I'd sell my whitebait to him.
How old were you?
Maybe like 10, 11. Started commercialising whitebait.
The tamariki in the water.
I'm the 15th generation of my whānau to live here. I guess my connection with the land starts at a very young age. Do you have a knife or something on you, brother?
Yep.
My granddad taught me a lot about certain types of berries and plants that we could eat or we couldn't eat.
What's the ikua of that one?
Tātaramoa, also known as bush lawyer. This was some mātauranga that Pa McGowan taught us at the marae many years ago now. He's one of New Zealand's top tohunga, and he specialises in rongoa Māori, and he kind of highlighted that passion for me. Because I knew I liked trees, and I liked medicine, I liked helping people. I was like, man, it'd be so cool if we had like some type of like traditional Māori medicine that kind of blended all that together. And then I found out rongoa Māori was a thing. I was like, oh, perfect. After school, I enrolled in Polytech. I wanted to be a nurse because my passion lies with rongoa Māori, but I didn't last too long at Polytech. I think I lasted maybe 3 months. And then it was about finding a job where I can be outside, I can be around different people and tell our stories. I moved to France almost a year ago now. Yeah, I've been guiding and now I'm on the glacier, which is pretty fun.
Ka roi mata o Hinehukatere, or Franz Josef Glacier, is a tourist hotspot. The third most visited destination in Aotea, but is also a place that holds great historical significance for Kaita. Hinehukatere, who is our snow maiden, so she went up and ventured into these moka with her husband, Tūwawe. And on their journey he struggled to keep up and he missed his footing and actually fell to his death. So Hinehukatere, witnessing her lover die, was struck with so much grief she began to tangi, a volume so much that it actually flooded out the entire valley. So these teardrops were actually frozen in the remembrance of her lover lost. So we have ka roi mata o Hinehukatere, the frozen teardrops of Hinehukatere. Well, Māori ora, here we are on ka roi mata o Hinehukatere, the Franz Josef Glacier. Our people have been guiding since the very first arrival of European. The sis has come to take us on a bit of a guiding mish, take us through to see some huka, see some snow, see some ice, and learn a bit about the whakapapa and the geography of this whenua. You go, man, I know it.
There's a fair amount of traffic up here. Heaps of helicopters in Franz Josef, the busiest helicopter port in the country. Here at the Franz Josef Glacier Guides, we have a pretty interesting job role because the glacier moves so quickly down the valley, about 1 metre on average a day. And because of this movement, our track's always changing. So super dynamic work environment, which keeps things interesting.
It's a dynamic landscape too, that combined with the weather patterns means the glacier descends to just 250 metres above sea level.
We're super close to the ocean, so you can see the coastline just out there. I think there's maybe 2 other places in the world where you kind of get this type of terrain where you're, on a glacier, alpine environment coming down into like temperate rainforest, big braided rivers making their way to the ocean.
Just the normal for us, really.
Isn't that nuts? Yeah.
Just this bit's pretty cool.
Wait till we get in there.
Part of the mahi with guiding is creating new tracks and steps as the environment changes. New features like this ice cave are constantly forming.
So mind your head when you come through, Kahu.
It's a pretty incredible thing to see up close.
This was a pretty special part of the track we have at the moment. all along our ice walls, and behind us here we can see these kind of stripes. It's called frenification, which is a fancy name for snow melts. As it melts, it will make all these air bubbles, these lighter, kind of paler strips of ice. And as more snow starts to come down and compress, this kind of aerated ice will start to make these really nice, clear, crystal blue veins until we get all the way to the bottom, and that's where we'll see kind of more bluer ice. Super clear, really strong.
Ka roimata o Hinehuka Tere is hugely significant to Kaitahu history. And it's not just because they are named after the legend of our great mountaineering tīpuna, Hinehuka Tere.
We'll go up there, we'll come back down here.
Ancestors like Te Keretu Toko, Joe Fluity, and Ruera Te Naihi were just some of the skilled guides who guided European mountaineers over this ice.
You right?
Their DNA is imprinted on this landscape.
Commercially, they've been guiding this glacier for 130 years, which is nuts to think about. But before that, it was us all the way back to, Waitaha would have been the first people to explore this area. It's an awesome feeling to know that, our tīpuna were once here on this whenua, and then we get to do mahi in the taiao where they once were, paying homage to those tīpuna that were those first mountaineers who did that. For me, it's pretty important. This whole connection to whenua taiao is my connection to my whakapapa. We come from this place and we'll go back to this place.
The weather is closing in quickly, so our mission on the ice is done for today. But being up here on this unique whenua and walking in the footsteps of our tīpuna like Tūtoko and Hinehuka Tere is an experience hard to put into words. Always loved fire, eh?
Yeah.
Well, a beautiful kōrero I heard was practice is the mother of knowledge.
Yeah, this one.
Our whānau coming from guiding lineage from the very first guides of the European whānau tradition, eh?
Yeah.
So yeah, for my little sister to be up on the glacier, up on ka roimata o Hinehuka Tere, holding our flame and carrying that pūrākau, just makes me so proud, eh? Yeah. Love ya.
Love you too.
Kids. I'm obviously a die-hard West Coast boy. But of all the rugged roads throughout Te Waipounamu, this particular stretch is one closest to my heart. This is the whenua where I was raised, Mahitahi or Bruce Bay. This area used to be a hotbed of gold mining and milling industries, but that dried up a while back. So these days, the permanent population of this place is between 15 and 50, depending on the season. Before the big urban drift, all of our whānau were here. I heard kōreros of my uncle having his 21st, and there were over 400 people, and majority of them were our whānau. Back when there was thriving industries that could, keep our people here. It is really isolated. There's no cities close by, there's no real big schools close by. It is hard to sustain a life here. We've come here to catch up with the ahika, West Coast legend, my Uncle Jeff, keeping the home fires burning here at Mahitahi.
The gods are watering the garden today. Behind me is our mara, which is just in workings at the moment. The fences are going up because we also have chooks as well, so we have our own eggs. But the problem is they love the garden, so we've got to keep them out of the garden. That was the office smoker room for the one teacher, and then the classroom, which is the larger building, and that's where I live. Well, this was a working school. My eldest son went here, Kahu's brother and sister. They were one of the last ones to attend this school. It was part of a government sell-up, so the Runaka purchased it.
Anyone who's spent time on Te Waipounamu will know, if you visit any Māori home, you'll find a collection of stones. Kohine tangi wa ia. This one, our teardrop greenstone. It has that translucency. Te Waipounamu is the home of pounamu. Right, my love, right. Man, it's such a good way to look for stone. Which means a family day out for Pounamu Kaitahu whānau is a slow shuffle treasure hunting along the awa. Quick! But while pounamu is well known, down here in South Westland, we've been sitting on a secret tauraka of our own.
This awa is our sacred waters, it's the makawhio. And of course, lying within the makawhio, we have this beautiful Aotea.
So this is our tauraka, the Aotea, and it is made up of a few different chemicals: kyanite, fuchsite, malachite, and quartz. So when all of those occur in the one stone, it is the Aotea.
We believe that you don't find it, it will find you. Very rare that there's one other river in the world where it occurs.
It's only rare unless you're a dreadlock, eh?
Exactly. If you really want a piece of your sea, just follow me.
This rohe is internationally recognised for its environmental value.
There is flora and fauna in here that is found nowhere else in the world. So we're in a pretty special place. And of course, this area comes under a World Heritage National Park. And there is one marae within that boundary, and that's Te Tauraka Waka. The only marae within a World Heritage Park. I'm the caretaker to this marae. Part of my role here too is to welcome our manuhere, also to talk about the stories.
Our marae was built in 2005, a momentous occasion for all Pounamu Māori, because it had been more than 140 years since there had been a marae on the coast.
As you can see, the highest point of the house, his name's Maui, and of course Maui is one of the most famous demigods throughout the whole Polynesian culture. He landed on our beach, but there were two taniwhas guarding each end of the bay. Before he could make his first landing, he had to defeat these two taniwha, and of course Maui was armed with his magical tuki, which he used, and he overcame those two taniwhas, and he tied them up at the south end of the bay, which is called Here Taniwha. The marae, that's where I spend most of my time. Probably is more important now because a lot of the whānau who live away, they have a place to come, which is Te Tauraka Waka Māui.
I was only young when we built this, but to think, my tamariki and my mokopuna will not know what it's like to not have a whare, to not have a symbol of our maha kitaka, and to remember those things that you talked about, to remember those old bloodlines, to remember our kōrero. All right, get your beach legs, boy. It wouldn't be a trip home without a beach mish or a kai moana feast. My wahine Ashley is a diver though, so while she goes and collects the kai... Oh, Unc should build us a fire. Unks and I are in the kitchen prepping.
One whakaaro in gathering to light a ahi, so if it snaps and it makes the sound of a fire, then it should be dry enough to burn. What does fire mean to you, Uncle?
Fire, ahika, occupation. You can't have fire without human intervention, except if it comes from the atua.
And you used to light fire out the front of the marae almost every day, didn't you?
Every evening, and for the reason of kahika. And being along the highway too was quite cool, because in the mornings I'd wake up and fires would be still going, there'd be somebody around it.
Yeah.
And I'd walk up to them and they'd look at me and go, oh, your fire. I said, hey, you welcome me. And that's what I like to see, someone putting another log on the fire.
Living on such remote whenua isn't for the faint of heart. The roads close often, so you need to be resourceful and self-reliant if you want to survive.
Oh, that's good.
Which means tapping into living life the way our tīpuna did.
It doesn't fly, it doesn't swim, it doesn't come out of the earth. Don't eat it, because there's a lot of processed foods out there. And even doing some of our old customs and traditions, like fasting. You know, you hear about fasting, but if you look back in our time, we fasted.
Yeah, like taking those old teachings and sort of bringing them into the now.
So if I can, say, live like a long, healthy life, then, and by practicing, talking what I practice, then I'm living proof.
Yeah,
and then that could be an encouragement for others. Oh, I had to pick that one.
Oh, num.
You just got to make sacrifices, because I love living here. This is my home. I've spent a lot of my life living on my own in the ngahi there. You can easily catch yourself a feed. I just enjoy that challenge of keeping yourself alive. Good deal. It's survival. The biggest one is you're just free, absolutely freedom, 100%.
She loves the kutai. She'll eat all of them. She'll stand there and eat all of them if we let her. Yeah, Uncle, ngā mihi anō, me o manaki, me o kōrero, me ngā pūraka o mō tātou tīpuna. Yeah, thanks for showing us around and taking us on another mish.
This is what we do, this is how we live. But it's always good to share it and welcome everyone who's watching these channels. Come down, let's see us, have a feed.
Ko te matua tama